What's up, guys? Time once again for fucking Drunken Halo, episode 144. Jesus Christ. I am Justin. Unfortunately, Travis could not be here, but that's okay. Don't worry, because I have something potentially even better. I am joined by two hosts of the Delta Halo podcast, Brendan and Rob. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on, Justin? Good to be here.
Good to have you.
Oh man, I'm excited for this. This is my first appearance in another podcast. So
Is it really?
Yeah, me personally. They've done a lot of stuff, but I'm always so busy I can never get to it. So I'm pumped, man.
Awesome. Well, I am super stoked to have you guys here, and of course, this is the first time you guys have been on. And so, while I kind of fade the music out here, why don't you guys kind of briefly tell us about Delta Halo?
Sure. So, Cat, or Rob, a.k.a. Cat over there, and myself, Sergeant, we started Delta Halo, gosh, we're 20 episodes in, so 20 weeks ago, which is kind of hard to believe. And that came out of us just always gaming together, playing Halo 2, and I guess we even played some CE a little bit, but just played together all the way straight through Halo 2, Halo 3, Reach, 4, and Halo 5 came out. We're like, all right, it's about time we do something about this and share our love for it. We talk about it all the time anyway, so let's make a podcast and just talk about it so that we can share it out with the community. And I think that's kind of where the idea came from.
It did. It came from us just we're always talking about it, like what they can improve, and just like what's wrong with it and a bunch of stuff. And I mean, we never really had our voices heard. So we kind of just thought to each other, like, man, I think people might actually want to listen to some of the stuff we talk about.
Maybe.
So, yeah, maybe. So me and Sergeant's idea for the podcast part of it, we created the show and everything like that. And then since then we've added MattyIce, a great addition, having a third person. But yeah, that's really where it stemmed from, just our love for Halo and just how much we talked about it. I mean, even in group messages. So figured we'd bring it public.
Now you guys just said the podcasting side of things. What would be the non-podcasting side of things?
So we've been doing a lot of work kind of on the side. So we do the podcast piece every week and release it every Tuesday. But, all the other days of the week, we're gaming anyway, whether it's Halo, Division, Rocket League, whatever it may be. So we're always on there. We all have capture cards. So we're like, all right, let's start a YouTube channel as well. So we have Espawngaming on YouTube. So all these names may get a little confusing, but we kind of, since we do so many other games outside of Halo, we kind of wanted a channel dedicated to gaming in general. So there's videos for Halo, there's videos for Destiny, there's videos on the way for Division, anything that we play, we put videos up there. And then we always have the Delta Halo podcast videos, which we record as we're podcasting.
Uncut live, so there's no video editing or anything in that.
Yeah, so we try to give anyone that's listening or just kind of tuning in for the first time, go to our YouTube channel and you can see all the hijinks that you can't see when you're listening to the podcast. It's all the stuff that we, if it doesn't fit audio-wise into the podcast, we cut it out. You get to see us and see the preparation, see us, just hanging out.
Yeah, we actually had a website, too, with, like, news and stuff on it. But kind of keeping up with that, it's kind of drowned out. We're looking to bring that back here in a couple months. I'm actually moving. I'll have a lot more time at home and stuff like that. So we're going to try to bring that back. That's something that's coming. Stay tuned on that. But mainly the YouTube's our other big push, so.
That's cool. And I know that you guys do I don't know if you want to call it a segment, but where you guys have trivia questions, and whoever gets the question wrong has to drink. Is that right?
Yeah, that is right. So we started that up about 2 weeks ago, I think. I think this was Cat's idea. We came up, let's make something a little more interactive, and let's put something on the line so it's not just throwing out answers. And as it sits right now, it's tied 1-1, Cat and MattyIce. But loser takes a shot of something.
Yeah, we had a viewer or a listener say that we should be taking shots at Tabasco sauce.
Yeah, that was VBG, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
VBG.
BBG.
He is a listener to our show as well.
Excellent.
Oh, cool, man. He actually is what got us stoked on doing some more interactive stuff because he was the first person to actually email into us. Um, Man, it got us excited, dude. From having some actual listener email us, you guys probably get it quite often. You said you had a listener actually draw your photo here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Just gives you that motivation, you know.
Oh no, absolutely. It kind of reminds you that it's not just you. You're not just sitting there talking blindly into a microphone. That there's actually people out there listening.
Yeah, and they're actually enjoying what you're talking about. I think it's that real-time feedback. It's like, all right, like at least we're doing something right. Somebody out there enjoys this, so let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. If you go through some of our older episodes and you listen to the stuff that we were talking about needs improvement in the game, like weeks later, 343's improving them. I'm telling you, they're listening. They are listening. It's funny.
Well, that actually reminds me. I made a promise the last regular episode. So what I mean by that is we've been doing our 1v1 tournament, and we've been doing like wrap-up shows for that. And we've had a couple of those. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had a couple of those shows. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there for a second. But I promised the last regular episode that we had some iTunes reviews to read. Would you guys mind sticking with me for a second here?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hear them, man.
All right, cool. So this one here, I apologize if we've read this one already. It's been so long I can't remember. But we have one from Polo Dog 1. This was left on February 12th, 2016, year of our Lord 2016. It says, I listen to a lot of gamer podcasts. This one is easily my top one. And I swear to God, guys, I didn't bring you on to have you listen to this. I apologize. The audio quality is excellent. The two brothers complement each other very well. I'm not a huge Halo fan, but I find myself wanting to play more Halo every time a new episode is published. In fact, if it wasn't for this podcast, I would probably have moved on to another game by now. Microsoft should be paying these guys a salary for consistently plugging their game. Well done, guys. Keep up the good work.
Dude, that's awesome.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh, and that was 5 stars. All these are 5 stars.
Oh, of course.
The next one is Matt0123. His says, 2 dyslexic brothers profess their love of Halo. Still a better love story than Twilight. Seriously would recommend. 10 out of 10. What else are you going to do when not playing Halo? Well, thank you very much, Matt. The next one is from Kobe Gilmore. It says, Colby Stark here. I don't know why his name is Colby Gilmore and he says Colby Stark. Whatever. Been listening to the podcast for a few months now. Best Halo podcast out there. The people following the podcast seem like a really good group, too. Hope to run into them all in Halo now that I'll have some time to play. Keep up the good work. This next one is from Chamby, who is part of our 1v1 tournament. He is from the UK. His says, if you're a Halo fan, this is the one. Fantastic mix of semi-serious and funny content, great community, and following as well. Solid hosts who put a lot of effort into not just the podcast, but the community as well. If you don't sub, you're missing out. And finally, from Magrid... Nalagal? I don't know. This one's from Australia. Listen to all the eps. Goddamn, best of the Halo podcast, and they don't talk over their guests. Top shelf, lads. I don't know what he's talking about there because my nickname is Justin the Interruption. So, but it is much appreciated, sir, that I cannot pronounce your name. But all right. So we got that.
Dude, that has to be like the greatest feeling to be able to have, reviews like that. And especially people talking about the way you build your community. I mean, that right there is something that we aspire to in such a big way. And it's so hard. And, people that aren't doing this don't understand the amount of time and effort and coordination and just everything that goes into doing that. So, big props to you guys for doing that, because that's a big deal, man.
Yeah, well, and it is a big deal, and you're very kind for saying that. You're a beautiful, beautiful man.
Thank you.
But yeah, and I have to say a lot of that credit goes to Travis, who's kind of our unofficial kind of social media guy. But thank you very much to everyone who has rated and reviewed on iTunes. We have some emails, but I'll get to those next episode. Yeah, thank you for everyone who reviewed. If there's one thing you can do to help out the show, we don't ask for money, we don't ask for anything like that. But if you feel like you do want to give back to the show, the best thing you can do is go on iTunes and give us a review, an honest review. We don't ask for 5 stars. We just ask for an honest review, and that helps out the show greatly. So thank you, everyone. All right, now back to the lecture at hand, as a wise man once said. So Halo's cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a good game. It's a good game.
Well, thank you for joining me. So this is so you guys were talking about something on one of your I guess not your most recent show, but the one before that. Okay. You guys were talking about HCS and the whole kind of question about how to handle profanity while streaming.
Yeah, that was a very, I don't know a good word for it, but we definitely got into that one, and I think Cat is definitely on one side of the fence for that one, and we're really trying to figure that one out. And what are you thinking about that?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, could you kind of very briefly kind of revisit the
So let's set it up here. So for those who weren't able to tune into the HCS World Championships, and more specifically the final match between Allegiance and CLG, I mean, CLG obviously steamrolled through the entire tournament. It wasn't even close. So they're in their final matches against Allegiance, and they're just owning. They're absolutely going off, and there starts to be some body shooting. There starts to be some teabagging. They're doing live listen-ins, which are probably the best part of these the competitive Halo scene when they start to broadcast them on Twitch. Is the casters throw it into live listen-ins so that you can hear the commentary, you hear the teams talking to each other, that chatter. It's really cool. I mean, that's the part of what we love about real sports too, is you get to hear what these guys are saying, and inadvertently, I think, during,
I'm pretty sure it was inadvertent.
During the one of the last matches, they threw it over to CLG, and as they're steamrolling Allegiance, someone, I don't remember who it was on their team, shouts out, "These kids are fucking terrible," and that kind of just got us thinking, the future of Halo as an esport, and if it moves more mainstream for a wider appeal, is that something that they need to work to get out of it, or is that just a part of what this game is? I mean, at its root, that is what Halo is. I mean, people teabag all day long, people scream obscenities, that's just how Halo is, but when it gets to that stage, what's the solution?
So we slightly have a little bit different views on it. Like, I prefer, like, the way that I think about, like, the teabagging and stuff in-game like that, it's the same as an end zone dance. I mean, you're going to teabag, you can teabag. You can't stop them from teabagging. Like, that's... If you ever see our Red Bull flu talk video, I don't know if you know we're in that or not. We have, like, a ton of people calling us gay in the comments. We don't like to read those ones.
No.
If you ever look, though, Red Bull flu talk Halo 2 Ghost Bike, that's actually us. So it's slightly embarrassing, but also awesome at the same time. Like, we teabagged in that in front of 80,000 people. So that's that teabagging and stuff like that's fine. Profanity, I mean, if you ever play Halo with me, it's just fuck this, fuck that, like, what the fuck, this guy's fucking shit, anything. Like I just speak in profanity. So I understand how it goes. But we do want this esport genre to rise up and a lot more age groups. I mean, the younger kids are the ones that's going to really streamline this. to make it last. We want longevity in this. We don't want it just to be a spike. So I mean, you've seen some some esports in like X Games before, like COD and stuff like that. It didn't really stick. And like, no, it just seems like it's a bigger genre. We're really pushing it. ESPN's got it. In NFL and game chat, you're not going to hear them swear or anything like that. So like, I think for that stuff, maybe. And Twitch is actually getting a pretty good roll of people. You see thousands of people watching through Twitch. So even depending on which broadcasting network, because I know ESPN is not going to allow swearing. I just don't see it. Whereas Twitch is just kind of a free for all. But I think for the longevity of the sport, not that I 100% love that you shouldn't be swearing in Halo or saying that. I really do think that it'll help parents and stuff for the younger group actually accept that this is mainstream and their kids can participate in it and stuff like that. So,
well, okay. So when it comes to the whole parenting thing, don't you think that, I mean, let's look at like rap music. Rap music is a extremely popular form of music that parents have historically hated, but still continues to grow, and they are extremely profane.
That's I agree with you. It totally does. I mean, and parents really, I feel like the reason it grows is because parents hate it, so kids love to listen to it because parents hate it. That's a huge plus. But I mean, on the radio and mainstream like that, like you're not on like the main stations other than like satellite where you're gonna hear like swear words and stuff like that too. So, like, I'm not saying that they shouldn't swear while they're playing the game or doing it because it's part of the game. Maybe like we were talking about it, like maybe having a light that says you're live and just tone down the swearing, like try not to make it so obscene. But I see where you're getting at. Like it's more like in the parenting, I guess, or just I see it's just words, but I don't know. It's a tough subject. Like you heard in our last in the podcast there, we were still like on the fence about it, and we were just basically asking our viewers and stuff what they thought.
I think a big piece of it, and while the parenting issue is certainly warrants its own consideration, I think a big piece of it is the sponsors and the money. I don't necessarily put this on the players, in my opinion. It's more on the producers, and if it's Twitch or whoever's running the show, to either have it on delay and be able to edit it out or bleep it out in real time, or have some sort of control to give the teams a heads up ahead of time that they're doing these listen-ins, because as the sponsorships that you see right now around esports are all the endemic brands. So it's everything like gaming chairs, controllers. It's everything that has to do directly with gaming. And I feel
energy
like
drinks.
Exactly. And I feel like anything outside of that where the bigger money might and could come from, bigger brands like Pepsi, things like that, Pepsi, Coke, whatever the apparel brands might want to hop on board. Anyone that's trying to go after a millennial might shy away from a sport that is going to slowly get known for, especially with the World Championships being the largest stage so far for Halo as an esport. If it starts to have a reputation for profanity as a big brand, I would kind of shy away from that and put pressure on the producers to do something to control it.
Yeah, I think a good way. So I don't agree with putting like a red light on the streamers, like on the top of like on the top of the player's TV, because I think that would be way too distracting.
Yeah, that's true.
And it would either be, I don't know, I think it would be one extreme or the other. Like it would either be too distracting, or they would be so focused that they wouldn't see it. But I think the right way to tackle that would be, like you said, have it on a delay and just bleep it. Or, just because they have like the live listen-ins now while they're playing the games doesn't mean that that's how it always has to be. Like if you look at like with the NFL, they'll show, you're watching the game, and then sometimes they'll cut to a replay, and then in that replay they'll have audio because they know that no one's like, oh fuck shit, whatever. So they know that they can present that live audio. Maybe it's something like that where like after a match is played, they go and they show you, parts of the match with the live chat.
Yeah, that's a great point because you're never going to get away from it in the heat of the moment. And
yeah, I think that's it. To a lesser extent, it's almost like the war on drugs. You can't ever. It's fighting a losing battle.
Right.
That's not to say you shouldn't fight it, but it's kind of fighting a losing battle. People are in the heat of the moment. I don't think you can just count on, some people, like trying to hold back what they're saying.
No,
especially with as crazy as those motherfuckers talk, man, because I can't understand a fucking word of it. It just sounds like listening in on like 5 different conversations going on at the same time.
Totally. And you think about when with Allegiance in particular, well, not anymore with the roster shakeups, but Nated, I love the guy, love the player, love his heat and personality, but my God, when you have a live listening with that dude, he is screaming at the top of his lungs. You have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, that's how I feel with all of them.
It's madness.
Red, fuck, stay alive.
Yeah.
And it's all like it's all what, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids that are just like spouting off,
Yeah.
Grew up in the
So I think kind of changing the scenario, not doing like if you do the live listen and have everything on a delay, which everything should be on a delay anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But having that on a delay where they can bleep it, or they could kind of beef up the presentation of these events by not having it so dead, between matches. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. And I'll say the final match of the championship was much better than all of the preliminary matches, group stages, and semis. But I totally agree. They need to step it up. This is they gave away $2.5 million total, and that's the best they could do from a production side. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, it's maddening kind of watching. Like, I don't know. But basically give them more to do, either between like each individual match and then also between like, games as well.
Yeah, totally. Because there's so much dead time between setups too. Because you're switching in different teams and they pan cameras along the guys setting up, and it's just like they're sitting there. Give me something interesting to look at. Give me some highlights from these teams from previous matches so that we know what we're getting ourselves into and watching. I think that's the biggest thing is they need some more. They need to be more agile when they're editing clips in between and being able to process the previous footage much more quickly. And I mean, I'm sure it's just a matter of expanding the team and getting the talent in there, but
and also a lot of that equipment cost a shit ton of money.
Well, yeah.
I mean, but they're really pushing this esports. You have Microsoft backing you. You have a lot of like good financial faces being able to back you for the actual sports, like the production part of that. I feel like maybe some, like, even if they threw in like an up-to-date like top 10 clips from the last couple games, anything like that, just keep them engaged.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. They do it for what? They do it for X Games all the time. Like, you're always seeing the top trick or whatever throughout the competition. They're always updating. They're always updating top slams, top things that people stomp. Oh, totally do something like that.
And you know what? Yeah. I mean, it was piggybacked on X Games, so whereas the actual championship games weren't really piggybacked on anything. So we could even use a little game to piggyback on us. Maybe in between have a small Rocket League little tournament or something. Just keep them engaged and just wanting to keep, instead of switching back to TV and waiting for like the next game or something.
Yeah.
I would even take something like that. Preferably more Halo stuff, but
yeah, even if they do like and I mean, the NFL naturally comes up a lot when you talk about this sort of thing, when you're talking about the way a sport is presented, through a TV or of some sort, or a screen of some sort. But the way they go through and they'll have the guy with the fucking computerized marker, going through and like,
right.
he couldn't go this way because the guy cut him off, and meanwhile he's drawing all these crazy fucking X's and circles around shit.
Oh yeah, totally.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah, just get like Bravo standing in front of like a big touch monitor and make it look like really awkward because it's supposed to work this way, but they haven't completely worked out the kinks, so he kind of looks goofy standing up there touching the screen with his pen, saying this guy should have went left and said he went right. Yeah,
and there's always that like half a second delay on whatever you touch.
Yeah, exactly.
So they always think they didn't get it the first time, so they go to like recircle the thing, but then the circle appears, and then there's that evidence of the just abandoned second circle there, and
yeah, exactly.
They go to swipe. Yeah, they go to swipe to the next screen, and
that's what we all love about it.
Second.
Yeah, that's what we love about it.
Yeah, dude, and you can actually work the actual in-game chatter and that stuff too. So I believe the way when we're talking about actual in-game stuff like that, like the actual talk, the way that you're talking about doing it like in previews like that, super good idea. I think that's solid. And I feel like we'll actually probably see more like that. I hope so, because that's a great idea.
You got to think with the partnership with ESL coming into the Halo Pro League, whenever they're kicking that off, I really don't know. But that's just another organization that has been in esports for quite some time that should have this down to a science, and bringing all of these big companies together I would expect them to make some really big improvements going into that pro league.
Definitely.
Could you imagine if G4 TV was still around? They'd be eating this stuff right up.
God,
We'd have constant
G4
tournaments on there.
I love that freaking channel.
That was greatness.
Attack of the Show. Anyone remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else was there on there?
Morgan Webb.
Oh, Morgan Webb. Oh.
Dude, no, Attack of the Show, though. That was awesome.
The Olivia Munn and Kevin something.
Olivia?
Yeah, what was his name? Pereira. Kevin Pereira.
Kevin Pereira was probably my favorite, though.
What was?
Kevin Pereira.
He was your favorite?
Yeah, he was definitely my favorite. Dude, I love that guy. The Morgan Webb and the other guy. What's his name?
Adam Sessler.
Adam Sessler. I hated him at first, but he kind of grew up. So he did. I liked him later on. He was fun.
You definitely had to take some time to get used to him. He had like weird mannerisms and that voice that was just like, I'm not sure if this is like good to listen to or really annoying.
Yeah, a lot of passion, dude. Tons of passion.
That was the best thing. Everyone loved video games. They absolutely flat out loved video games. So that's why it was cool.
Watching the PSP be first shown on the show and stuff like that, and they're like comparing it to the new Nintendo. Oh my god. Half chub.
But someone had asked what else they have on or had on G4. Cops. There was a lot of cops.
There was a lot of cops, yeah.
That makes sense. Cops, video games, yeah, exactly. Let's fill the dead space with cops.
It's a cheap show, apparently. But they also had the original Ninja Warrior.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They used to have the voiceovers and everything.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't have a voiceover whenever the people were actually running the oh fuck, what is it? I'm blanking. The fucking
Mount Midoriyama course thing? Yeah,
the course. There we go. Yeah, it was that Japanese guy who yelled all the time.
Yeah. What was that? Was MXC on G4?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that was the show. It was like, it's an old Japanese game show, and that's what you might be thinking of, Kat. It was an old Japanese game show, and it was like with all these random ass people running this really kind of ghetto obstacle course, and it had the Japanese people. It was dubbed over people speaking Japanese, and then they would just dub over it with someone speaking American, and they would just say the most absurd commentary to go along with it. Oh my god, that was the most funny show, and that had to been super cheap to have too, because that was on from like 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. until like 6 a.m. It was always on at like the worst times.
That's hilarious.
They had like unicycle stuff.
When did G4 go away?
God, dude, probably like 13 years ago.
I think it was that long ago?
No, dude, to be honest, I guess I didn't get I really didn't get DirecTV in my house until I was like 16. So I guess it was probably only about 60. Well, G4 TV went away, and then Tech TV came out, and now
I thought it was the other way around.
No, G4 first, and then Tech for sure, right?
I don't know. I never heard of Tech TV.
All right, maybe Tech was first. I started
I'm
with
pretty
whatever.
sure I'm pretty sure Tech TV was first. I never
Okay.
watched it, but
So I started with Tech then, and then it came G4.
yeah.
So, and Tech TV actually had an attack of the show with. I think Kevin was the only one that was original, and everybody else changed once it went to G4.
All right, so I got some facts here. I did
Okay.
a little research. So,
All right, so we're going to our reporter in the field who is breaking in with breaking news.
coming in hot from the field, 13 years ago. So it was founded 13 years ago, not closed.
Close.
Founded in 2002 and closed in 2014. So only 2 years ago.
Oh God.
13
I feel like I'm
to
an asshole now. All right.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We've all
So
been
what
wrong.
about
before.
Tech TV? Did you get that out in the field too?
Yeah, I have that fact. It's coming. Hold on.
Hold on.
Yes. Okay. Replaced Tech TV. Tech TV ran from 1998 to 2004.
Watch
Ooh,
that.
yeah.
That's sweet. So Tech TV was first. All right. I'm an OG.
I was thinking with a name like Tech TV that had to have come, late 90s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
if it was around today, it would be something like tech.tv or something.
Yeah, right. Or hashtag
Tech.0.
Tech TV.
Yeah. So does your source mention anything about why it went under?
I'll have to check back in with them. Hold on one second.
Just gotta make a couple phone calls.
I got to call my sources.
Which you won't reveal your sources.
I cannot reveal my sources. They've come to me in confidence.
I appreciate your being ethic about ethic. Your ethics are I don't know what I'm saying. I've had a few drinks.
I'm very ethical in my ethics.
Research.
There you go.
All right,
Okay.
so let's see here. We've got
I'm interested. I'm really interested.
G4's studio programming ceased in preparation for its relaunch as Esquire Network in September of 2013.
Esquire.
However,
What
Oh.
a terrible downgrade of a name.
Esquire Magazine, dude.
Yeah, Esquire magazine.
Shit sucks. I've never read it ever.
Oh, I can't say I've read it either, but I know it
really?
exists.
So, however, in September of 2013, NBC Universal announced that Esquire Network would instead replace sister channel Style. And G4 kind of went away.
What about Esquire? Is it still out there?
I don't know.
Yeah, it pretty much died to us.
Yeah, Attack of the Show does not exist anymore.
That was pretty much everything. So
What was y'all's opinions on Olivia Munn? Hot or not?
she was like the redhead one, right? Or is she the brunette, curly hair brunette? There's two of them.
She was brunette.
Yeah, she was
Brunette.
brunette, but I don't know.
I know who we're talking
might be
about.
thinking of the wrong person.
No, I have somebody. I know exactly who you're talking about. I would say attractive. Morgan Webb, not attractive to me.
She had her moments.
Yeah, I think that for me, they're both on the fence. They had their moments.
I mean, I was a 17-year-old boy in any aspect there. So,
Yeah, well, I think it's crazy what kind of success Olivia Munn has had since then.
Yeah, what else has she gone on to do? She's
an actress now.
Actress now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
that's actually
And she did appear on the cover of Playboy, which I purchased that issue and was upset to see that it was just bathing suit. She was just in a bathing suit.
Sell magazines. They got you with that one.
They did.
bait and switch.
Bait and switch for sure.
Magazine too.
Yeah, it might as well have been in Maxim or something.
Right. Well, apparently, this sounds, I don't know why, but apparently Playboy is trying to focus more heavily on their articles these days.
I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Bathing suits. So
Why?
That's dumb.
Well, I mean, I guess I know why.
You can just get it anywhere if you want,
What about-
I guess.
What about the spokesgirl for Ubisoft? Which she for the last couple of years? Who was it? She plays Lana in Archer.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, what is her
I can't
name?
think of her name. She plays Lana in Archer. She's I'm pretty sure she would be a model.
Yeah,
think.
I can't
She
think
could
of...
be. You guys, doesn't ring a bell for you guys?
Oh, it rings a bell for me. I just can't think of what
I don't know her name.
the voice actress is.
I'm sure some of the listeners here.
Aisha Tyler.
Well, there you go.
Aisha Tyler. I know her.
Yeah.
Hey man, she's for Ubisoft. She presented a lot of their stuff in I want to say it was E3.
Yeah, it was E3 this past year.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I know who she is.
Cool.
She's attractive.
Yep. She might have the highest score so far in my video game girls.
So, okay, here's a question. Have you ever been attracted to a female in a video game?
Like a digital girl?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember...
Dude, come on, no, let me talk.
Okay,
here.
all right, go
How
ahead.
old were we playing Tomb Raider, just watching?
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.